Mama. I want to talk to you about how you can get clear on what you want at work. And listen, you need to be clear about what you want from work. Because if not, you're just going to have to settle for whatever comes your way. And you don't want that kind of life. I don't want that life for you where you're just settling. I don't want that kind of life for me. And I had to come to terms with that after I graduated from grad school and I got my first job, and it was everything that I wanted. I really wanted to work in language. I was working in language and negotiating contracts in Spanish, helping to create marketing programs in French, and it was amazing. But then I kind of got unclear about what I wanted and started getting pushed in the direction of whatever everybody else wanted for me, what my boss thought I should be doing, what her boss thought I should be doing, what the company was like, there's a space over here when you can go do that. And I found myself in a place where I was like, I don't know if I even really like what I'm doing anymore. I don't know if I'm enjoying this. And that was because I wasn't clear on what I wanted. And so I couldn't articulate it. I couldn't put it out there to have other people understand what I want. Because here's the thing, there is a ton of opportunity out there, opportunities that you don't even know exist. And that's okay if you don't know they exist. Other people do. They can only put those opportunities in your direction when they know that they match, right? That those opportunities match with what you want. So you have to get clear on what you want. And let's be real, I am not talking about what role you want. I'm not talking about wanting this director or VP or C-level role. I am talking about getting really clear on the skills that you want to use, how you want to be spending your days, and also how you want to be compensated. When you're clear on those things, then you can let the opportunities shape themselves. Let me tell you a little bit of an example or like what happened in my life. So I found myself in a role that I just really wasn't enjoying. And I got really clear though on what I did enjoy, and I just put it out there. I loved big picture thinking. I loved working with people. I like seeing evolution, like how do we start here and grow to the next thing? All of that is really fun. I like creating roadmaps, right? All of that is really fun and interesting for me. And I put it out there, and then a job came in front of me. And that job was leading a technology team. Can you imagine? My background was in loyalty marketing. I was doing consulting. I had no thoughts about leading a tech team. I was like, I'm not a tech person. I'm not a Luddite, but I'm totally not a tech person. Yet all those things that I really enjoyed, the big picture thinking, the strategic thinking, the evolution, the change management. I really like change management. How do you get from here to there? How do you get people on board? That was all a part of what this role was. And while I could have never envisioned it for myself, because I was clear about what I wanted and how I wanted to be spending my time, other people saw an opportunity for me. And you know what? I took the role and I loved it. I absolutely loved that role. But if you had asked me 2 years before, I would have never thought that I would enjoy a role in technology, at least not that much. And so now that opportunity, I know, only came to me because I was clear on what I wanted and able to share that with others. And I want the same thing for you. I want you to be able to be clear on what you want so that your career can move in the right direction. So those hidden opportunities are no longer hidden and instead placed in front of you on a platter. So let's talk about how you do that. First, you have to get really clear on the skills that you like to use. Write them down. Write down all the skills that you enjoy doing on a day-to-day basis. Then write down how you want to be spending your time. Think about if you want to spend your time in meetings, if you want to spend your time engaging with other folks in teamwork, or maybe you prefer being on a keyboard alone in a room doing research, or just alone in a room right on the keyboard typing away and then reporting out on your findings. Think about how you actually want to spend your day and write that down. Then think a little bit further out, 2 to 3 years, what is it that you really want to be doing? And I don't mean, again, a specific role. I mean, do you want to be leading a team? Do you want to be working remotely? Do you want to be working internationally? What is it that you really want to be doing 2 to 3 years from now? Write that down. These are all going to help you to get very clear about what it is that you want. After you've done that, take a moment and just write down your ideal day. And it doesn't have to do with the role. It has to do with how you want to be spending the day. Write down your ideal day. I wake up at this time. I get to work at this time, whether getting to work means getting in a car and driving someplace or getting on the train and commuting, or if it means just rolling over and pop it onto your laptop right out of bed, right? Get clear on what that means and what that day looks like. When do you get to work? Who do you work with? How often are you engaging with others? What skills are you putting to use each and every day? Get really clear on this, because once you're clear on it, you can start to share. And when you start to share, things will start to move in the direction of what you want. If you aren't clear, you again are just going to have to settle for whatever comes your way. And while you might be happy with it, you're never going to have the same amount of joy, and you're never going to thrive in the same way as you would if you were working on the things that matter most to you. So, mama, take some time, take action, right? Because watching this is cool, but it's not going to change your life. Taking action is what changes your life. Take some time to write these things down. Write down the skills you want to be using. Write down what you want to be doing day to day. Write down 2 to 3 years from now, kind of what that high level might look like. Is it international? Is it domestic? Are you remote? Are you in an office? Are you working with big teams or small teams? Write that all down. What would feel really good to you? And then don't forget to also write down what type of compensation you want, and dream big. I mean, you have to be realistic. You can't say, I want to make $10 million a year as a janitor, right? That just, sometimes things don't really add up, but you need to have a goal in mind, and it's okay to write it down, and you definitely should think big. I mean, and even the $10 million a year, I'm pretty sure there's some janitors out there who ended up with some stock in some company somewhere, and that stock is worth a lot more than they could have ever imagined when they started on at the job, right? So just write it down and then put it out there. Share it with folks, because the more that you share, the more the opportunities will come your way. That's it. That's what I have to share with you. Oh, one more thing. I do have one more thing to share with you. I've got a course available now. It's called Get Ahead Without Staying Late. It will really give you a step-by-step plan to advance your career, to move your career trajectory in the direction that you want without, and this is the key, without sacrificing your family time, without sacrificing your life, right? You don't have to work long nights and weekends and always be on the clock to move forward. I've got the tricks and the tips to teach you how to make the plan so that you can get to where you want to be. Check out the comments for more, or you can go to my website, The Savvy Working Mom.